Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. We all know that creating awesome NPCs is important to running a very successful TTRPG, but did you know that there is an ancient Chinese philosophy that can help you today to create the most amazing, thought-provoking, interesting, and engaging NPCs that you've probably ever run before? Well, I'm going to share it with you in this video. You're not going to miss it. Let's dive in. Good morning, awesome people. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the GM Philosopher, and today we are talking about creating amazing NPCs using an ancient Chinese philosophy called Confucianism. Now, Confucianism is a philosophical system developed by Confucius around the 5th century BCE in China. It emphasizes the importance of ethics, social harmony, and the roles individuals play within a community. Key concepts include things like benevolence, proper conduct, filial piety, which focus on fostering respectful and virtuous relationships among people. Now, this philosophy actually works really well for helping us to develop engaging NPCs. And you might be wondering, well, hold on, GM Philosopher, I'm not quite sure I understand what you're getting at. But I'm going to explain how Confucianism can actually be a pretty awesome bit of source material, an awesome direction determiner, an awesome even checklist, if you will, of things that make NPCs engaging and interesting in role-playing games. And so we're going to dive in and I'm going to give you some steps for how to use it to create NPCs that your characters are going to love. Now, before we dive into it, I want you to smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and hey, drop me a comment and let me know how you create awesome NPCs that keep your players interested and engaged. I also want to invite you to make sure to watch the whole video, because after I'm done talking about this philosophical principle, there are a couple things I want to share with you that I think you'll be interested in. All right, now let's dive in. Now, here's how this starts out. You can use Confucian principles to define your NPCs by their roles in society and the virtues they uphold or struggle with. And that's really where the beginning of how to use this philosophy starts. For example, an NPC could be a dutiful son who honors his family, a corrupt official who fails to act with integrity, or a wise elder who guides the party with benevolence. By grounding your NPCs in these roles and ethical dilemmas, you can create characters that are more than just static quest givers. They become reflections of the social fabric of your game world. Now, this fits really well with Confucianism because Confucian philosophy places a strong emphasis on social roles, ethical behavior, and the virtues that guide human interactions. Confucianism is deeply rooted in the idea that a harmonious society is built upon individuals fulfilling their roles and responsibilities with virtue and integrity. And here's how a few of these different aspects actually connect to this. So on one hand, we have social roles, okay? In Confucianism, everyone has a role to play in society, whether as a parent, child, ruler, or subject. These roles come with specific duties and expectations. By defining NPCs through their social roles, like a dutiful son, wise elder, or a corrupt official, you are reflecting the Confucian belief that people's actions are largely shaped by their place within a societal hierarchy and their responsibilities toward others. This gives you amazing creative power to think about where an NPC is located in the societal hierarchy and in the width of the societal fabric, and then work out what kind of person they are by kind of factoring down from that, using that as a starting point. Now, the second thing we want to look at are virtues, okay? Confucian virtues are central to how individuals are expected to conduct themselves. For example, you have the virtue of benevolence in Confucianism. This is about showing kindness and moral integrity. You have proper conduct, which involves behaving appropriately according to one's role and social norms. And then you have filial piety, which basically emphasizes respect for and duty to one's family and ancestors. By creating NPCs who embody or struggle with these virtues, you're making them reflections of the Confucian moral framework. For example, a dutiful son who honors his family then struggles with the moral dilemma of whether or not to help his family, who's maybe a little bit evil, when he is trying to uphold his moral place in society. See, this is a pull between that filial piety and this proper conduct that we just discussed here. And when you kind of create a bit of a matrix surrounding these virtues and these different aspects of how people are supposed to behave in society and the things that they care about in terms of virtues and values, then you can really create interesting blends of personality and belief that make your NPCs really jump to life and kind of come to life in a bigger way than just, oh, it's Bob who runs the market. Not that I have anything against Bob who runs the market, but in D&D or any TTRPG, we're often looking for slightly deeper connections, deeper role play. We want players to be really interested in the NPCs we're creating. And so this helps us to kind of create that framework. So it looks something like this. It looks like we have virtues on one hand. We have proper conduct, right? Which is kind of a separate graph. And then we have filial piety, basically respect for and duty to one's family and ancestors. And when we kind of create a matrix with this and we figure out where our NPCs are on that graph, this helps us to identify where moral dilemmas might pop up and also where there might be opportunity to create moral dilemmas that maybe the PCs need to help with or that the PCs can interfere with, or maybe that's just happening in the background and the PCs can choose whether or not they want to get involved in it. In fact, one of the cool things about Confucianism as it relates to creating NPCs in your D&D game is that it doesn't just present an ideal, it acknowledges that people often face moral dilemmas and struggles in fulfilling their roles. NPCs who are caught in between duty and desire, honor and ambition, or personal and societal expectations embody the Confucian understanding that ethical conflicts are part of the human experience. These dilemmas make NPCs more relatable and realistic, enhancing their depth and making them more than just static quest givers. This paves the way to create NPCs with clear motivations and ethical conflicts. Designing NPCs whose actions and decisions are driven by their adherence to or deviation from Confucian values is a fantastic way to use Confucianism in the creation of your NPCs. This could include examples like a noble who prioritizes duty over personal desire, creating conflict when their loyalty is tested, a merchant torn between familial obligations and the lure of profit, providing players with a moral quandary, a mentor figure who embodies wisdom and offers guidance reflecting Confucian respect for elders and tradition, etc. You can also use relationships to drive storylines. Confucianism emphasizes the importance of relationships, whether between family members, friends, or rulers and subjects. NPCs grounded in these relational dynamics can bring depth and complexity to your story, as their actions are often motivated by their connections to others. For example, an NPC might be driven to make questionable choices out of a sense of duty to their family or to protect a friend, giving the players a chance to explore themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and honor, especially if your PCs get roped into the shenanigans that your NPCs are engaging in. And overall, when it's all said and done, all of these different aspects of Confucianism in their relatively simplistic form, at least the way that I've stated it. I haven't delved too deeply into intense Confucianism. This is pretty basic stuff for the philosophy, but in my mind, using these types of thought process when creating NPCs can really help you to create NPCs that are more lifelike and that have more drama to offer, and this can really make them more engaging. And so there you go. That's what I have to say about that. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. With that being said, I do have a couple things I'd like to share with you. Number one, you can download my Ultimate Plot Randomizer. This is a free ebook. If you sign up for my email list, link is in the description, you'll get this ebook delivered free in your first email. Random roll plot arcs on the fly using D100 tables, roll for the hook, the conflict, the conclusion, and even wild and wacky stuff to throw in there. Print it out, put it with your stuff, use it whenever you need it. I use it almost every time I play. It's awesome. I also want to invite you to join my Discord. It's free. Come and join us. We hang out. We play D&D. We play other TTRPGs. We talk about movies, art, share music. It's awesome. Come join us. Have a good time. If you like Discord, you'll definitely want to stop by. And that's going to be a wrap. Hey, thank you so much for coming by and watching another one of my videos. I'm here almost every day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.